sorcery is this? It's not the magic of editing, it's the magic of keyboard shortcuts. If you're playing on a version of Minecraft that uses a keyboard and mouse, so Java or Windows 10, you can use keyboard shortcuts. They are extremely useful for quick inventory management. If you're after a particular shortcut, look at the list and timestamps in the description and you can jump straight to the one you're after. Let's say I've found a dungeon. I want to empty the chests and get out of here quickly. Or maybe I'm searching a shipwreck and I don't want to drown. I could laboriously click and drag everything down, or we can do it much more quickly than this. If I put my mouse over an item and I hold shift and left click, that item will jump down into my inventory, either onto the first available spot on the hotbar, or if that's full, into the inventory itself. Or I can hover it over an item, I can double click, which will bring all those items from my inventory and the chest to the one spot and bring that down. If I already have some in my inventory, double click, there it is. So let's empty the rest of this, double click on our bones, there they all are, and shift click to bring our name tags down. We can repeat that here. We've already got the pumpkin seeds in here, so let's just double click. And for our individual items, shift click, down they come. That's all done. Now, what if I've got a chest full of items and I want all those items into my inventory, or an inventory full of items and I want all of them into a chest? I can pick up any item. It can be from the chest or from my inventory. I hover over one of them and shift, double click, and they all come down. That is all the ones that are the same as the one I double clicked on. So if I grab this and hover over that and double click, it'll be the only thing going up there because that was the only item of that type I had. So let's pick up some cobble, double click, and there it all is back in the chest. What if I just want to put one or two items in? Easy. Pick up my stack, part stack, whatever it is, and right click once to lay down individual items. Alternatively, if I want to fill up all of these, say I'm creating a bulk storage system, I hover over a square, I hold down right click, and then I just glide my mouse over and look, single items. What if I want to put half my items in? That's easy. If I want to separate these into halves, if I only want to put half this stack into the chest, I hover over it, I right click, and there's our half. Now, if it's an even number, it will divide it exactly into halves. If it's an odd number, it will get as close as it can. So in this case, 13 and 14. Now, if you're on creative, you can use your middle mouse button, that's usually the scroll wheel button, and click over whatever the item is, and it will give you a stack. Now, if I hold down the middle mouse button and move over as we did with placing single items, now I'm placing whole stacks. Now I want to pop my armour on. There's several ways we can do this. I can come into my personal inventory menu. I can click and drag the items to the appropriate slot, or we can shift and left click again. So shift, left click, and it equips it appropriately. Shift, left click. And to take them off, same thing, shift, left click. There they all go. If, however, you've got armour in your hotbar, it gets even quicker. Scroll over until you select the piece of armour you want to equip and right click. Let's do that again. And there we are. It's all back where it should be. Quickest way to equip the armour. Now, speaking of equipping, we've got our hotbar. We've got items we want on our hotbar. I can drag them down to where I want them, or we can use the number keys. Let's put that back. I like my clock in slot 1. So I hover my mouse over the clock and I hit 1. I like my sword in slot 8. So let's hover that, hit 8, there it is. Pickaxe in 7, axe in 5, spade in 4, stake in 3, and compass in 2. There we go. That leaves space for my bow when I get it, and an extra pickaxe. Couple more things. Let's go to the crafting table. I want to make a chest. I can individually click. There's all our pieces for a chest. Or I can pick it up. I can hold down the right mouse button and just drag it around. If I want to make multiple chests, I hold down the left mouse button and it will evenly distribute my blocks to make the number of chests that I have blocks for. In this case, I've got enough to make 6 chests. So let's say I want to make a whole lot of crafting tables. I'm just holding down left click, moving it around the spaces to make the crafting tables. I've got enough to make 13 crafting tables. Why do I want 13 crafting tables? There's another amazing thing we can do with simple inventory management. I've got a pallet here of blocks that I use to build this house. I've already emptied my inventory. I want to build something with the same pallet. If I'm on creative, I can come up and I can highlight a spot on my hotbar and target a block with my crosshairs. There we are. And click the middle mouse button and there it is on my hotbar. Let's do the next one. We'll pop that there, and that there. I think I want some spruce stairs and an oak log, and we'll go for the trapdoor and the pressure plate. Fantastic. Now I've got all these in my hotbar and I can use them to my heart's content. While we're at it, let's grab some flowers and a lantern. And I really like the oak trapdoor too. So I've selected those and it's moved the 3 things that were there initially up into my inventory space. I can select anything on creative and it will appear on my hotbar and it will push anything from the hotbar that was there up into the inventory. This is called pick block. It's fantastic, but this is pick block in creative. What if we do pick block in survival? There we are, we've changed to survival mode. I'm going to select something I don't already have. This dark oak stair. It's not in my inventory anywhere. And pick block is useless. I'm pressing that middle mouse button. What about a poppy? No. But what if I select something that we already have? So the spruce stair, or say the andesite. Let's go to the andesite. I can hover my crosshairs over the andesite, anywhere on it, press that center mouse wheel, there's the andesite. If I select something that's already on my hotbar, so I've got slot 5 at the moment, let's go to the cobble. Instead of switching the cobble into slot 5, it just switched my selection to where the cobble was in slot 2. Pick block is incredibly useful. So that's the middle mouse wheel or the scroll wheel. Now back into creative. I've filled up my inventory with stuff that for my next build is basically useless. I want to get rid of it. I can individually carry it across to the destroy item box, or I can hold down shift and click on the destroy items and it clears everything. So let's do that again. I've got items in my inventory. I've got items in my hotbar. I want all this clear to start again. Shift and left click on destroy item. Clear inventory, ready to go again. One last thing before we go. I've got all these useful things on my hotbar. I don't need the dirt. Maybe you want the dirt. I can open my inventory, pick it up, drag it across and drop it outside my inventory so it ends up on the ground. Or I can scroll over till I'm highlighting it on my hotbar and I can press Q and that will throw out individual pieces of dirt. That's going to take ages. Or I can hold down Control and Q and throw out everything that's in that slot. Be it a full stack, a half stack, 5 pieces, 30 pieces, doesn't matter. I would also advise if you've still got throw mapped to Q, change it. How many times have you seen someone, or have you yourself, thrown away something valuable because you've meant to press W or A and instead you've pressed Q while you've been holding it? It's okay with netherite, it'll float in lava. A lot of other stuff won't. So let's remap the throw key. So press escape. This brings you up to the game menu. We're going to click on options and controls. You come to this, the controls menu. There's quite a lot here. Scroll down to the inventory section and you'll see drop selected item. At the moment I've got it set at Q. I'm going to select it and I'm going to select something else, and I'm going to select something that I have to purposefully think before I drop it. Square bracket's a good one for me. It's the hand that I usually have on the mouse. It's well away from all the movement keys. When you've chosen what you want to map drop selected item to, click done. And now when I press square bracket, I drop things. And there's control square bracket. Yay! If you want more tutorials with helpful hints and tips from me, there's an end card on the screen now. So that's it. Quick and simple keyboard shortcuts for happy inventory management.